See the simple question. Simple possible question. Parametric representation in chapter 13. So, okay. Yes. Alga is. I'm going to stop now. Thank you to you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Do well in exam, quiz exam.
Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. Okay, tomorrow you have your quiz, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, first quiz is on?
Yes.
Okay, so we have discussed generics in the last class. Anyone having any doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your doubt?
Oh, 1 second, ma'am. Ma'am, assignment questions में there was a term mentioned referred create a boxed string object and two variable refer to that box. The box का मतलब क्या है ma'am?
Box means here you are going to create a class, okay? So you are going to create a class of box type. वो class का name box होगा. Okay, there you are going to have two variable. Okay, tomorrow we are having our lab, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we will do that question in the lab itself tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
So I think you will have your lab classes, so everything will be there along with you have your quiz exam. Okay, so simultaneously you need to prepare for it. So any other doubt? So that box है, that is the name of the class you are going to define in the generic class. Okay, Mika?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it.
Any other question? So you don't have any other doubts. So I will switch to the introduction to data structure now. Okay. So first we will understand what is analysis of algorithm. How we are going to analyze an algorithm. We will just have the introductory part because you are going to learn in detail in your higher semester. That is in your fourth semester, I think. Algorithm analysis there is a paper. So you are going to okay. So you are going to again learn in detail there. But before that, we just should have an introduction. What is algorithm? We have already discussed in the last semester, isn't it? What is algorithm? In ICT? Do you all remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you don't remember, we will discuss it again. And how we are going to analyze an algorithm. We are going to discuss these two things. Then we will move to the recursion part. And after we complete recursion, we will move to linked list. Okay, so from now onwards, we are going to discuss something related to our logic and recursion. We are having some logics. Then in data structure, we are again going to discuss how we are going to organize our data with the help of object-oriented programming concept in Java. So let me have the, I have not saved, I have saved my screen. So I will move to the new part. Here. Introduction to data structure. So try to go through the class, object, constructor, interface, abstract class, concept, whatever we have discussed in the class in the thoroughly. Okay, minutely I have given you everything. You just go through it thoroughly so that you will be able to attain your quiz. अच्छे से quiz कर सकते हो. Okay, so what are the important things are there? I have already discussed with you. Now next move to introduction to data structure. So all of you know what is data structure? I have just started the data structure part. But you शुरू किए थे ना? So what is data structure? Data structure is nothing but it is a way of collecting and organizing data in such a manner that some operations can be performed on this data in an effective way. So can you give me some examples where we can perform operations in an effective way? Can you give me some examples?
Stack, array, or list.
Just a minute. So you are saying stack, array, list. So why we are using stack, array, list?
To store data in a sequential order.
To store data in sequential order. Okay, so can you give me an example how it is help us to store data in sequential order? What is array? First, can you tell me what you mean by array?
Continuous memory location.
So, continuous memory location. Okay. Now, suppose I am having a memory location, continuous memory location for 10 bytes. Or I have a memory location that will store 100 numbers. So, 100 numbers means what will be the size? 100 into 4 bytes. So, I have around 400 bytes of continuous memory location. Now again I want to add some numbers. Can I do the addition part here? Can I increase the size of the array?
No, once defined, it has to be within that size only.
It is not possible again. I will give you another example. Now suppose I have already allocated 400 bytes of memory. Now suppose I want to only store 20 numbers. Then what will be the rest? 80 space or 80 into 4? What is it? बाकी सब स्पेस क्या हो जाएगा? Rest of the space will be waste. Okay, because rest of the space it will be 0. It is not going to occupy some value, so it is simply going to waste. और कोई use करना चाहेगा भी तो वो उसको use नहीं कर सकता है, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is the few limitation with array. तो हम लोग को क्या करना पड़ता है? We need to use array in a planned manner, isn't it? Okay, so array, you have given me one example. Array, in order to store, so it is used continuous memory location. And what about list? List का काम क्या है? What about list? Anyone can give me some idea? Where we are going to use list? So list we are basically going to use when we don't have continuous memory location. Okay, so in list we are basically using when we don't have any.
Multiple items.
Yes.
It is store multiple items in list.
Yes, we can store multiple items and along it doesn't have any continuous memory location in order to store the data. So array में क्या होगा? Either we are going to store integer type value, or we are going to store character type value, or we are going to store string type value. But in case of list, we can store heterogeneous data items also. We can store in a list integer, char, string at a time. Okay, we can store different type of value. Again, another advantage is that it is not in continuous location. So if you don't have continuous memory location also, we can store the value. Okay, that is another advantage of list. Someone is saying something? Okay, so this is the use of list. Okay, so any other so can you give me one example where continuous memory? Now suppose here in the computer memory we don't have continuous memory locations. The boxes I am creating at the free spaces are available. तो क्या होगा? What will happen? We are going to store item in this one, and उसके बाद वो सबको connect कैसे करेंगे? How we are going to connect it? We need to have the address of the next allocated memory location. So this is how we are going to use the concept of list. We will discuss in detail. The next one is stack. So what is the use of stack? Why we are using stack? Anyone can say me? Tell me. What is the use of stack? किसी के पास कुछ idea है? Do you have any idea how to use? What is the use of stack?
Memory management.
Yes,
We can use it for memory
it
management
can be used for memory management. Means
and backtracking.
backtracking. Okay, so you have checked sometimes you find stack overflow, isn't it? So in stack overflow, what is happening? Let you have a number of systems. बहुत सारे instructions है. You have a number of instructions with you, and you want to execute the instruction, but there should be certain priority of the instruction. कौन से instruction पहले execute होना चाहिए? Which one should be executed at the beginning, and which one will be executed at the end? जो beginning, जो end में execute होगा, उस stack के कहाँ रखते हैं? We are going to pile it up at the end of the stack. So you must have gone to parties. Parties में जाते हो ना सब?
Ma'am, LIFO method, last and first.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. So there we are arranging the plates. If you are asking to submit your copies, so how you are submitting it? उसे कहाँ डालते हो? तुम सबसे ऊपर डालते हो कि नीचे डालते हो? Whenever in the class the instructions are given to arrange your copies or submit your copies, where you are submitting it?
At the top of
On the top.
At the top. So the copy, the person who is submitted first is going to be evaluated at the last. So here we are going to arrange the instruction in such a manner that those instructions having of less priority will be put at the bottom, and the instructions with the higher priority will be put at the top. Then accordingly, all the instructions are going to be executed. So this is the use of stack. And another one is your queue. So queue में बोला जाता है जो पहले आएगा that will be provided the or access उसको पहले दिया जाएगा. So if you are waiting for a ticket in a railway counter or in a movie hall, then the person who is standing in the beginning of the row, it is going to be allocated first. So it is based on your first in, first out. जो पहले आएगा उसे पहले एक्सेस मिलेगा, जो लास्ट में आएगा उसे लास्ट में एक्सेस मिलेगा. Okay, so in this way now vaccination drives are going on. So you are going to stand in a queue. तो पहले जाके खड़े होने के लिए सब कोशिश करते हो ना. The person who stands first in the queue going to be vaccinated first, and the person who is going to be stand last in the queue is going to be vaccinated at the last. So these are the different ways how we are going to store our data. ये बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. Depending on our requirement, we are going to use the concept of, अगर continuous memory location है तो हम लोग कौन सा concept use करेंगे? We are going to use the concept of array. If we don't have the continuous memory location, then we are going to use the concept of list. We are going to use stack. Stack हम लोग कहाँ पर use करेंगे? When we have a instructions to given to the system in order to perform some task, then accordingly based on the priority we are going to arrange the instruction. So basically I can say your arithmetic expressions, ये जो है ना, this one a b into c minus t, these are nothing but your evaluation of arithmetic expression. तो इसके लिए हमें क्या चाहिए? We need the help of a stack because it will tell us which instruction is going to be executed first and which one is going to be executed last. तो पहला कौन सा execute होगा? The multiplication is going to be executed first. उसके बाद addition and subtraction. So for this type of problems, we are going to use stack. And queue, first in, first out, it is basically used by the processors in order to allocate the resources. जो पहले आएगा उसे पहले resource मिलेगा, and the processor which will come last, resource will be allocated at last in order to avoid some conditions. Okay, so depending on our requirement, we are going to use the different ways of structuring the data. So for this basic reason, we are going to learn data structure. Are you clear?
Yes.
Okay, so I will move to the next part, classifications of data structure. So note it down. So another examples are there, trees and graph. I will not give focus on it. So just write down classifications of data structure. And this data structure you will come across in every part of your algorithm design. Classification of data structure. So basically data structure is divided into two categories. Data structure is divided into two categories. One is primitive data structure and the other one is your non-primitive data structure. So primitive you have already learned, primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Okay, here I am doing the classification. Data structure, it is basically classified into two types. One is your primitive and the other one is your non-primitive. Okay, under primitive we have 3 or 4 types. What are they? What are your primitive data types, data structure? These are your primitive data structure. Okay, under non-primitive we are having array, list and file. Okay, lists are basically of 2 types. One is linear list and the other one is your non-linear list. So under linear we are having stack, queue. Under non-linear we are having tree and graph. Okay, this is how our data structure is being.
And your voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking. Just a minute. I'm muting my mic for a minute. Is my voice is breaking now?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, just a minute. Just a minute. I'm muting my mic. Yeah. Is my voice is breaking?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
It's been classified into 2 category. One is your primitive and non-primitive. So we have already discussed primitive type, isn't it? The primitive types, integer, float, character. These are nothing but your primitive data types. So how we are going to store the data? And under non-primitive we are having array, list and files. Files we are not going to discuss right now. Okay, list can be linear list and non-linear list. ये जो list का category है, it is based on the access. How you are going to access the data. So based on the access, it is being divided into 2 category. One is your linear list and the other one is your non-linear list. Okay, and linear list, it is your stack and queue. Non-linear list is tree and graph. But how you are going to store the data? Data storage के ऊपर कितने type के depend होते हैं? Based on the storage. Again, we have two things. One is your linear and the other one is your non-linear. Okay. हाँ, linear में तुम्हारा आ जाएगा क्या? Array, and for non-linear it is list, because in list all the memory locations are not in continuous manner. वो क्या रहता है? Segregate. So remember this one. Based on the stories, we have linear and non-linear. Linear is the array and non-linear is the list. But here, based on the axis, we are having array, list and file. And list का कितना type है? Linear list and non-linear list. It is stack, queue, and non-linear में tree and graph. Okay, I am just putting it in another box so that you will not get confused. Okay. So if you are going to have any higher studies, this is one of the questions it is mostly being asked. So based on the stories, how many lists are there? Okay, one is your array, the other one is your list. And based on the axis, it is linear and non-linear. एक stack queue रहता है, दूसरा tree and graph रहता है. Are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so do this structure. I will move to the next part. Have you noted it down?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Okay, just note it down. I will move to the next part. So primitive data structures are nothing but your
Data type.
data types, and it's directly operated by the machine, whereas non-primitive are the derived from non-primitive are derived from primitive. Remember this one. Non-primitives are derived from primitive data structure, whereas primitives are the basic one. Okay, and it is directly operated by the machine. Primitive data structures are operated by the machine. Okay,
And then
and
Boolean will also be there. No?
yes,
And Boolean will also be there.
हाँ, primitive में सब है, boolean है, double है, everything is there in primitive under. वो सब integer वो ले रहा है ना numbers, and here I have categorized into 3 types. This one integer is nothing but the integer numerals. Okay, these are the floating point value and this one is the character. तो float में क्या आ जाएगा? Float and double. Under this you are having byte, short, long, everything will coming under the numerals. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Over.
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is part. Okay. I will just move to the next part. What are the operations we are going to learn? Okay. What are the different operations we are going to learn? In data structure. So I'm just operations on data structure or data structure operation. Data structure operation. So what we are going to learn here, create. Okay, the first operation that we are going to learn, the creation, how we are going to create a structure. Okay, after creation we are going to learn insert, how we are going to insert the value. So array हो गया, क्या होगा? This one is the creation of the array. I am giving one example for the array. Insertion. So if you have some elements in the array, so the next thing we are going to learn how to insert the element. So it can be at the end, at any specific location, or at the beginning. So insertion कितने type के होंगे? Beginning, at specific, and at end. Okay. The next operation that we are going to learn is deletion. So suppose this one is the array. So similarly, we are going to learn how we are going to delete the element from the beginning, at specific, and at end. All these things we have discussed, I think, in the last semester for array.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are not going to discuss array. We are going to discuss for other data structures. The next one is the traversal. Okay, traverse. So traverse means how we are going to display the elements. Basically, it is display elements in the display elements. Next operation that we are going to learn is searching, to find whether an element is present in the list or not. Next operation we are going to learn is sorting. Okay, and the last one is reverse. Okay, these are the things that we are going to learn for linked list, stack, and queue. Okay, these are the data structure operations that we are going to perform. Here I have shown you for the example for array. If array is a data structure, so we need to learn how to create an array, how to insert element to the array, how to delete the elements from the array, how to display elements from the array, how to search the item, how to arrange in either in increasing order or in decreasing order, and how to reverse the array. So I think we have discussed all these operations for array in the last semester, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will discuss these things for किसके लिए पढ़ेंगे, list के लिए, stack and queue. Okay. So this is just a brief introduction on your data structure. Okay, so before data structure, we need to learn few things. Then we will start. So what are the few things that we are going to learn is
Algorithm analysis.
with the analysis of algorithm. Analysis of algorithm. So you know what algorithm is, isn't it? Don't you know what do you mean by algorithm? Here I am writing a code. Just look it carefully. Here I am writing one code. All of you see it carefully. I will ask you one question to all of you. It's not a very difficult question. So here I am writing an algorithm. To find sum of n natural numbers. So this is the fundamental or introduction to your algorithm part also. So here you will chase, you will find out what you are going to learn again in your higher semesters.
A little up.
Yes?
Please scroll up a few lines.
Okay, just a minute. This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Over?
Yes.
Okay. So here I am writing two algorithms. The first one here is go सेम यही एल्गोरिदम के लिए मैं 2 एल्गोरिदम लिखूंगी to find out the sum of n natural numbers. So this is my first algorithm. Step 1, read n. Step 2, initialize s is equals to 0. Step 3, for I equals to 1 to n, perform the following operation. Do s is equals to s plus I, and here we are going to end the loop. Step 4, print the value of s, and the step 5 here is exit. And here again I am writing the algorithm for the same problem. Read n. Step 2, initialize s is equals to 0. Step 3, s is equals to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Step 4, print the value of s. Step 5, exit. So this is my algorithm 1. Okay, and this one is my algorithm 2 for the same problem. So can you tell me which one is better?
1 second.
2. Second one.
Second one. So algorithm 2 is better than
1.
1. Why?
And because in second algorithm time is constant.
Less time complete करने
कम
Yes.
time.
कम टाइम लेता है. अच्छा, बहुत कुछ बोलो. टाइम इज कांस्टेंट. हाँ बोलो.
Everything is calculated in one operation.
Everything is calculated in one operation. Very good. So and यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? What is happening here?
It
Depends on the number of elements.
It depends on the number of what addition. So यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? We are using loop. Loop हो रहा है तो यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है? Every time we are adding one number after the another. एक के बाद एक numbers को add करें. But यहाँ पर हम लोग क्या किए? We have put the formula and we are finding out the result. So the way we are going to compare the two different algorithm is known as your analysis of algorithm. So on which criteria you are comparing the two algorithms?
time taken.
Time taken. Okay, time taken. So whenever we are going to compare the algorithm based on the running time, okay, so it is known as, basically we are comparing it in terms of time complexity. So this is your analysis of algorithm. So analysis of algorithm is states that analysis of algorithm means to determine the amount of time or the amount of resource. So resource can be your time or space. Okay, amount of resource needed to execute the algorithm. Okay, कितना टाइम चाहिए और क्या कितना स्पेस भी चाहिए. Space is also an important factor while we are going to do the analysis, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we depends. So how we are going to write our code based on the time and space needed. So, but basically we are focusing on the time requirement more. So next is your time complexity. So how we are going to measure our algorithm? कैसे measure करते हो? Distance को. How you are going to measure the distance? in terms of
Number of operations.
distance को कैसे measure करते हो? What is the unit for measuring distance?
Meter.
Meter. And what is the unit for measuring liquid?
Liter. ml.
Okay, liter है. Capacity measure करने के लिए तुम्हें capacity चाहिए. Then how you are going to measure time? Is there any unit for your algorithm? Second है. Second कोई nanosecond बोलेगा, कोई microsecond बोलेगा. It depends on what? Algorithm always depends on the algorithm. अगर तुम्हारा ये problem है, अगर n का size 2 होगा and if the size of n is 100, your algorithm will take same time.
No, ma'am.
So algorithm is basically depends on the
Input.
size of the input. Very good. So that is how we are going to measure our time complexity. Okay, just note it down. Time complexity. तो algorithm का कुछ unit नहीं है. We don't have any specific unit. It always depends on the size of the input. Time complexity of an algorithm. And हम लोग क्या करते हैं? We are specifying the system time for this particular input size. In our system, if you are running the algorithm, it is computing in this nanosecond or microsecond or in second. In this way, we are writing it or not. Complexity of an algorithm is basically the running time as a function of input size. So how you are going to design the algorithm? तुम लोग algorithm कैसे design करोगे? How you are going to design the algorithm? Can anyone can tell me?
Such that time taken is less and space taken is less.
Time taken is less and space taken is less for input size लेके check करोगे या फिर without input size you are going to find it out?
Input size लेके check करेंगे ना.
Yeah, basically depends on the size of the input. अगर हम लोग n input ले रहे हैं, let if n value is 100 or 1000, if I am computing in this system, so n input के लिए जो सबसे कम time में result निकालेगा, that algorithm is better, okay, rather than we are going with a smaller input size. So basically we always depends on the input size, okay, of an algorithm where we are going to compute or calculate the time. Okay, this is I remember this is very one of the question basically asked. Okay, so how you are going to compute the algorithm or what is the unit of your algorithm? Okay, so it basically depends on the input size. So now we check how we are going to analyze our algorithm. Should I move to the next part?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now check how we are going to calculate the time. So always remember, याद रखो, according to our system model के yes.
मैम आपने बताया कि ये डिपेंड करता है इनपुट के साइज के ऊपर, पर लेकिन आप जो एग्जांपल दिया तो ऊपर
हाँ जस्ट अ मिनट. हाँ ये एग्जांपल. हाँ बोलो.
पर यहाँ पे तो प्रोसेस अलग है ना, बट अगर इनपुट दोनों में सेम दिए हम लोग, तो किसी में तो अलग आएगा ना.
हाँ
तो
यहाँ पर
डिपेंड नहीं करता है
यहाँ पर डिपेंड नहीं करेगा. इनपुट साइज तुम्हारा कहाँ पर डिपेंड करेगा? यहाँ पर तुम्हारा, मैं बता रही हूँ ना, आई एम कमिंग टू दैट पॉइंट. यहाँ पर तुम्हारा इनपुट साइज के ऊपर डिपेंड नहीं कर रहा है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर तुम्हारा इनपुट साइज के ऊपर हमेशा डिपेंड कब करेगा? जब तुम क्या लोगे? लूप
इनपुट सेम रहेगा।
इनपुट सेम रहेगा। हाँ, जब लूप लोगे तब इनपुट साइज के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा। ओके, आई एम जस्ट कमिंग टू दैट पॉइंट, मैं उसी पॉइंट को आ रही हूँ। ओके, हाँ, आई एम जस्ट कमिंग टू दैट पॉइंट, पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट. So before I will discuss the analysis of algorithm, you should remember one thing. According to our system model, random access model, all the algorithmic or the arithmetic operations, जितने भी तुम्हारे arithmetic and logic operations हैं, arithmetic and logic operations, remember, will take constant time. Will take constant time. Okay, so what are the arithmetic operations? ये इसका टाइम क्या रहेगा? कांस्टेंट. ओके, वो तुम्हारा रिलेशनल ऑपरेशंस, द रिलेशनल ऑपरेशंस, व्हाट आर द डिफरेंट रिलेशनल ऑपरेशंस? ऑल आर, इट विल टेक कांस्टेंट टाइम. अगर तुम if else लिखते हो, if else स्टेटमेंट, ये कितना टाइम लेगा? कांस्टेंट टाइम. सो तुम्हारा टाइम कहां पर वेरी करेगा? व्हेन यू आर गोइंग विथ लूप्स. ओके, फॉर लूप्स में तुम्हारा टाइम वेरी करेगा. ओके, एंड ऑलवेज वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू राइट एल्गोरिथम व्हिच विल टेक कांस्टेंट टाइम. अगर कांस्टेंट टाइम लेके हम लोग बना सकते हैं एल्गोरिथम, दैट विल बी द प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो गया. But we can't do that one because complex problems will need some time चाहिए, हमें loop चाहिए. In order to solve some complex problems, we always go with loop. So we are going to design the algorithms in such a manner that it will take less time or less number of loop. Loop कम लेके हम लोग कैसे algorithm design करेंगे. So we will discuss one by one examples. So first we will check the basic example how we are going to analyze the first given two algorithms. वो दोनों को मैं कैसे analyze कर रही हूँ देखो. Then I will go to step by step manner. I will increase the complexities. Okay. So first algorithm 1. What is the first step? Step 1 में क्या था? Read n. So remember this part. Always plus, minus, relational operation, if else, and assignment. Everything will take your constant time. This is your step 1. Step 2. Initialize S to 0. Step 3. For I equals to 1 to 0, do S equals to S plus 1 end loop. Step 4, print S. Step 5 is exit. ये assignment है, it will take constant time. Here I am writing 1. Again this will take constant time 1. Loop 1 to n होगा ये. For loop, again loop में हमारा क्या होगा? Time change होगा. So the loop will execute for how many number of times? अगर n input है, loop कितने बार execute करेगा? n for true values and 1 for your false value. Okay, n true value के लिए execute करेगा और 1 क्या होगा? False. जब false होगा तुम loop से बाहर आओगे. So it will n plus 1 times. S plus 1. ये जितने बार true होगा, this part will execute, isn't it? S equals to S plus I. जितने बार भी loop true होगा, ये part execute होगा. So this will execute. हाँ बोलो.
मैम आपने for के बाद do लिखा है.
हाँ, ये algorithm लिखने का तरीका है. For अगर ये कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई कर रहा है तो ये लाइन लिखोगे. Okay, it is not do while loop. For do this statement. ओके सो यहाँ पर हो गया s इक्वल्स टू s प्लस आई, ये कितने बार एग्जीक्यूट करेगा? n टाइम्स, n फॉर ट्रू नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स, जितने बार भी लूप सही हुआ दिस विल बी एग्जीक्यूटेड. देन प्रिंट s, प्रिंट करने के लिए कितने बार एग्जीक्यूट करेगा? कांस्टेंट टाइम, एग्जिट के लिए कांस्टेंट टाइम. एड ऑल दिस वैल्यू, ये सारे वैल्यू को ऐड करो तो what you are getting here 1 plus 1, ये कितना हो गया 2 3, this one is 4, this one is 5. And how many times n is written?
2 times.
2 times. So if n is equals to 2n plus 5. So this is my function of the algorithm. Okay, this is my function of the algorithm. I am writing here another, the second algorithm. Read n, initialize s is equals to 0. Then यहाँ पर हम लोग फॉर्मूला लिखे थे s equals to n into n plus 1 divided by 2. This is step 1. This one is step 2. This one is step 3. Step 4. Print S. And step 5 here is exit. Done. ये कितने टाइम रीड होगा? It will take every step here is taking which value? Constant time, because here we are initializing. ये read हो रहा है, यहाँ पर initialize हो रहा है. ये कौन सा operation है? Which type of operation is this one? Arithmetic operation. So it will take constant time. Print constant time. Exit के लिए constant time. So here what is the value? 1 2 3 4 5 5. So here fn is 5. So for algorithm 1, यहाँ पर कितना आ रहा है? 2n plus 5 and यहाँ पर algorithm 2 के लिए 5 आ रहा है. तो ये हो गया तुम्हारा constant. We are not writing it 5. We will tell it as constant. But in case of algorithm 1, यहाँ पर देखो तो ये किसके ऊपर डिपेंड कर रहा है? If my size of n will increase, इसका टाइम क्या होगा? Increase करेगा. Okay, so this is how it depends on the, किसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है?
Input size.
Input size. Are you getting my point? Are you all getting my point? Why I told in the previous statement that यहाँ पर क्या लिखा गया है? It basically function of input size. क्यों input के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है? Are you getting this? When you are putting it in a loop, always remember if you are not using loop, हमेशा क्या आएगा time? Constant आएगा. But when you are using the loop, the time will always depends on the input size. So your algorithm complexity will depend how you are going to use the, किसके ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा? लूप के ऊपर. अगर नेस्टेड लूप लोगे, अगर 2 नेस्टेड लूप लगाओगे तो एल्गोरिथम क्या होगा? n स्क्वायर हो जाएगा. 3 लगाओगे तो n क्यूब हो जाएगा. So which one is efficient? n or n square or n cube? N is efficient. So we will learn how we are going to analyze it. Okay, how we can reduce the complexities of the algorithm. That thing you are going to learn in your next semester. That is your algorithm design. Okay. So should I move to the next analysis? और एक दो yes, हाँ देखो सब ट्राई करो. All of you try this one. So because we are not going to do the algorithm, simple algorithms, we are just moving to the some complex part. So we should know how we are going to analyze it and how we are going to write the algorithm so that it will be less complex. So here the next question is to find the sum of the elements of an array. Okay. So here again I am writing one algorithm. All of you check it carefully. To find the sum of elements of an array, find sum of elements of an array. Initialize s is equals to 0 for I equals to 0 to n minus 1. Here step 3 is exit. Initialize s equals to 0. Step 2 for I equals to 0 to n minus 1. The same thing here I am repeating. S equals to s plus a of I. Now here step 3 is display s. Step 4 here is exit. So यहाँ पर कितना टाइम लेगा? What will be the time needed to initialize s equals to 0?
1.
Constant. यहाँ पर n plus
Enable.
n plus 1. N for true values and 1 for
मैम बट यहाँ पे n-1 है ना, मतलब n से एक वैल्यू कम तक एग्जीक्यूट
यहाँ पर कहाँ से शुरू हो रहा है?
0
So anyways वो कहाँ तक जाएगा? 0 to अगर n का साइज 5 है, 0 to 4 means how many times it will execute? कितने बार execute हो रहा है? n times and 1 for false value. Similarly, this line will be executed for n times. This one is for 1. So total time here is 2n plus 3. Similarly, यहाँ पर कितना हो जाएगा? This is for constant time. Again, this one is for n plus 1. याद रखो 1 to n हो या फिर 0 to n minus 1 हो, तुम्हारा कितने बार एग्जीक्यूट होगा? n for true value plus 1 is for false value. Again, this part will execute for n times. This is executed for 1 time. It is executed for n times. So it will be 2n plus 4. So I have written these two things because यहाँ पर दोनों का क्या है? ये दोनों का वैल्यू क्या है? यहाँ पर कितना आ गया? 2n plus 3. But here what you are getting?
2n plus 4.
2n plus 4. Both having some different value. But growth rate दोनों का किसके ऊपर डिपेंड कर रहा है?
Input size.
Input size. So both having the growth value same. Okay, so for this type of वो जो growth rate है determine करने के लिए for algorithm analysis we are using a term that is known as your asymptomatic. ये term ये नाम सुने होगे तुम लोग पहले से, isn't it? Asymptomatic notations. अभी बहुत regularly use हो रहा है ये term, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so this one is your asymptomatic notations. So हम लोग क्या करेंगे यहाँ पर? We are based on the assumptions depending on the size of
Input.
input. Okay, so these notations are basically known as your asymptomatic notations. Write down.
मैम एल्गो 1 में डिस्प्ले क्यों नहीं किए?
हाँ, algorithm 1 में display use. तो अगर जो भी कांस्टेंट फंक्शंस हम लोग यूज करेंगे हमेशा कौन सा वैल्यू चेंज हो रहा है? कांस्टेंट वैल्यू चेंज हो रहा है.
यस मैम.
ओके, तुम्हारा जो ग्रोथ रेट है वो क्या है दोनों के लिए?
कांस्टेंट
सेम है. आई वांट टू शो यू दैट पर्टिकुलर थिंग. ओके, सो उसे हम लोग कैसे डिटरमाइन करते हैं? दैट इज डिटरमाइन ऑन द असिम्प्टोमेटिक नोटेशंस. ओके, सो राइट डाउन हियर in the order of growth. It's already time, I think.
Yes.
Okay, we will discuss it. Asymptomatic notations, we will discuss it in the next class. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.